Let's take you through it, though. Let's talk you through this A final grid. Sean Briley, 6th in the heavyweight standings overall coming into today. His best finish in a trophy final so far this year is a 3rd place. He starts this one from pole after a fantastic series of heat races today. So going to be an interesting one for Sean. What can he go on to convert that into? But he's got Joe Holmes alongside. And you can see as well, these are the points. You can see what they've scored across all the heats, and it's very close, as you can see. In situations where the points are equal, we go to the lap time that they've done, the fastest lap time across the heats. So Sean Briley and Joe Holmes, your front row. Anwar Burrell-Smith and Chris Dixon on row number 2. Bill Taylor and Dave Pethers on row 3. Both 2 drivers who have had a very strong day at the races, Andrew. And Bill Taylor, the highest place of our super heavyweight drivers as well. So featuring really well here today. Then it's Adam Wright and Oliver Moss on row 4. Row 5 is Lewis Ridd and Miguel Hall, which I think makes them the highest place of our Class 2 runners on this grid. Stuart Jones and Stuart Simmons, 2 more Class 1 runners, are on row 6. Row 7 is Matt Wileman and Jeff Lamb. And then on row 8, we're going to have Steve Bosley and Stephen Downs. Row 9 is going to be Alex Pritchard and Richard Allen. Row 10 is going to be Lenny Wood and Jonathan Elliott. Lee Henderson and Nick Trafford makes it an all super heavyweights, row 11. And then it's Stuart Madden and Jordan Salter on row 12. And then confirmed promotees from our B final is Rory Seven and Paul Williams, who will round out that group.
It's round 5 of the Club 100 Sprints Championships for 2020. This is your heavyweight A final. Sean Briley, number 50, has pole position. Reigning champion Joe Holmes alongside him on the front row. Championship leader Anwar Burrell-Smith, number 3, is there, P3 on the grid. Chris Dixon, who's had race victories so far today in the heats, in 4th. 12 minutes to decide who wins this round. You can see the drivers there trying to keep the engine warm, get that response good as we go green here at Bayford Meadows, and straight across there and into 3rd place. In fact, Joe Holmes was trying to cut across into 2nd. He wasn't able to do so, so it's a Bryce Racing 1-2 as they head towards the first big braking zone. It's Briley from Burrell-Smith, from Holmes, Bill Taylor up to 4th, Adam Wright trying to go through there, and Miguel Hall has a half spin as they all try and get through turn number 4, and somehow they've just about done it as one of the tester carts goes away there. Alex Pritchard's number plate is making a bid for freedom, but that's already, to me, Howard, I think the field is split in 2 with whatever was going on there through turn 3 and turn 4, but it's a good start for Sean Briley.
Yeah, they all bulked up, didn't they, as that incident that left Miguel Hall out wide into 4 sort of got itself settled. Remarkable that they all managed to keep it together there, but they did go five abreast at one point heading towards turn 5 as a result. But yeah, good move from Adam Wright. To get past, I was going to say to get past Bill Taylor, but Bill Taylor's got him back. So as we finish lap number 1, it is Sean Briley in the lead of this one, ahead of Anwar Burrell-Smith, Joe Holmes, Bill Taylor, Adam Wright, Chris Dixon, Dave Pethers, Stuart Jones, Stuart Simmons and Matt Wileman to round out your top 10 at the end of lap 1.
Oliver Moss has a penalty for a takeout, ABC, so that's his race results ruined. There's a contact warning as well for the 131 of Matt Wileman, and already it's this top 3. Breaking away as Holmes goes down the inside of Burrell-Smith for 2nd place. Big move and gets it done. So Holmes up to 2nd place then. Past Burrell-Smith, but we've seen these 2 trade positions back and forth a couple of times already today.
Yeah, and it's as you said with the other finals, mate. It's a longer race, so patience, at least perhaps for the first few laps, might be a virtue. I'm not sure how much it pays off towards the end. But yeah, Anwar Burrell-Smith, no need to panic. He can look to get the position back. And Adam Wright has got by Bill Taylor as well over the course of that one. So Adam Wright, who, let's not forget, is also featuring fairly prominently in this championship as well. He's missed a round, so it doesn't show up on scoring, but he is a very experienced driver, very successful driver, and he's in this fight as well.
Briley defending. There's been a penalty for Matt Wileman, bump and pass. That'll be 4 places at the end of this race, and you get the sense that Briley is sensing that he does need to defend. Joe Holmes has got good pace in this race. Just want to mention as well, Richard Allen's had a storming start the last few laps. He's up to 12th place. That's second place, a clear second place in super heavyweights. Bill Taylor still leading in that subclass. There, P5 overall.
Matt Warman has had a penalty. I'm not sure
Yep.
if we've covered that one. That's for ABC bump and pass. So 4 positions docked from wherever he finishes in this one.
Oh, big curb hop there from Stuart Simmons. Is trying to work his way through. He's got past Stuart Jones for 8th place on that last lap, but still as you were at the front of the field. 1, 2, 3, Briley, Holmes and Burrell Smith. There's a penalty now for Stuart Madden, another bump and pass, another 4 positions there.
That's significant in his pursuit of trying to get a podium in Class 2, Andrew, because he's currently the 3rd.
Down the inside, sorry, Howard. Holmes going for a move on Briley and let him back through. Yeah, there was a bit of contact there, so that was correct by Joe Holmes to let Briley go back through. But he's going for it again as they go through the long left-hander. They're going to be side by side. Briley will have the inside for the next corner, which is a right-hander, and Burrell Smith's going to nip up the inside. Oh, he's side by side. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant from Anwar Burrell Smith. He saw the door open again, went, yes, I'm going down the inside of you there, Joe, because this is key. This is key for championship as we get to this middle part of the season. Briley's having to defend again from his teammate in Anwar Burrell Smith, and Adam Wright is on the scene there as well in the number 4. It's a 4-way scrap for the lead.
What did we say about patience being a virtue? Beautiful opportunism from Anwar Burrell Smith, and now he knows is the time to pounce. But Adam Wright is having a look at Joe Holmes. Holmes is having to go defensive here against Adam Wright in the battle over 3rd place, and that's but it's interesting, Andrew. Burrell Smith and Holmes both on this lap going to the inside of corners, half in a defence but half in attack as well. Again, Holmes going shallow on the entry into 8. It'll push him out slightly wider, but there's not much that Adam Wright can do about it. What I'm going to dub a little bit the Ben Bennyworth approach to turn 8. Just go defensive on the shallow entry, and it won't do you too much harm. But it has allowed Burrell Smith just to break away a little bit, and I think Burrell Smith is going to get a few corners here of just focusing on Sean Briley here, as Briley's just a little bit tighter on entry. Can Burrell Smith tuck under? Yeah, he can. He's got a nose alongside, surely into 2, bouncing around on the tarmac, but Burrell Smith is through into 3 and gets the job done. Change of lead then on lap number 6.
This is a fascinating A final in the heavyweights. You've got the 2 teammates at the front. Surely they will try and work together now, because they'll have seen that Adam Wright is right there. He really is hassling the rear bumper of G3 Joe there, the number 1, the reigning champion. And Joe Holmes can't go for a big move at the moment because Adam Wright is right there. I was about to say filling his mirrors, but the Club 100 carts don't have mirrors. But you know what I mean. He's buzzing around, and Joe is distracted a little bit there and can't think at the moment fully about getting a move on Sean Briley. Can the Briars boys use that as a means to try and break away from him?
Behind them is Bill Taylor. You just saw that train there, and he's sort of defending like crazy over this, because in that pack that's behind him, in that train, is second place in super heavies, Richard Allen. So Bill Taylor is defending like crazy. It's going to be very difficult for any drivers to get by. Stuart Simmons in 6th is trying to get by Bill Taylor with potential hopes of getting onto the back of this top 4. But at the moment, Bill Taylor is understandably defending like his points depend on it.
Well, they do.
Oh, but Stuart Simmons has got through there, Andrew. So Simmons now up into 5th place and will look about trying to get onto the back of this 4.
Yeah, the gap is about 2 seconds at the moment between 4th and 5th place. Let's see what Simmons can pull out of the bag. Chris Dixon's still there as well in the green helmet. He's trying to find a way past Bill Taylor for 6th place. They come round to finish another lap. Here he comes, though. The pace is really, really high at the front of the field as Dixon has a little look. Oh, my goodness, is Stephen Downs on the scene? Where did he come from there? That was a huge attempt by Downs. He didn't quite pull it off. And we nearly had 3 wide through turn number 1. But the pace is high at the front of the field. Joe Holmes has just set the fastest lap of the race. He's through. He's through and into 2nd place. So Holmes with the fastest lap of the race. 54.408 is now into 2nd place on the road.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's our championship leader coming in today, and Anwar Burrell Smith in the lead of this one. And Joe Holmes, someone who, he missed a round. So at the moment on the championship tables, he doesn't show second in that championship. But as Andrew was saying earlier today, these two have got to be some of the key players at the front of this championship battling away. Not the only ones, absolutely not the only ones, but they are right where they need to be in terms of carrying on their championship campaign. Still 4.5 minutes of this one to go. Sean Briley and Adam Wright need to work together just for a little while longer here so that they don't lose touch with these two at the front.
Lee Henderson has had a cone penalty. That will be 1 place deducted at the end of his race, and Burrell Smith having to work hard now to defend, but not too much. Keep the pace up with Joe Holmes just behind him. Curb warning for the number 40, which is Steve Bosley. Steve currently last of the runners, unfortunately, so not having the best of A finals here today at Bayford Meadows.
It's like one of those impossible radio communications you hear in Formula 1 where they say if you could keep the pace but save the tyres. It's kind of like if you could defend but also keep
the guy ahead under pressure.
Yeah, it's exactly the same sort of duality that's very difficult to actually maintain. That is the challenge.
Stephen Downs, Howard, has got past Chris Dixon for 7th place.
Oh, good run off of 3 and 4 though there for Joe Holmes. He's trying to set up the opportunity, sells the dummy a little, or has to bail out of it and switch back. He's going to try and get the switch back to set himself up for a late exit here out of 6 and possibly set up something into 7. It's going to be very difficult. He's going to get another switch back. He's done about 3 switchbacks in a row. And Burrell Smith is wise to it. He's going to squeeze the line there and say, oh, no, you don't, Sonny, not through here. Brilliant stuff. And that's allowed Briley to get right onto the scene. He was a little way off the back of Holmes, but now he's right in there. Got a nose alongside in 10. Thinks better of it and tucks in behind Holmes for turn 11. But that series of switchbacks right back at turns 2 and 3. Holmes was trying to get a later exit to get himself onto the back of Burrell Smith, and it's closed this top 4 right up again as they come on to lap 11.
This is such a close race. I cannot call which way this one's going to go. It could be any one of these 4. And Adam Wright, we've seen him do this before, and this is reminding me of Lyd last season, where he did a similar thing. He just stuck at the back of the squabble, waiting for something to happen. He's doing the same again here. He's on for good points once again in the heavyweight sprint championship, even if he doesn't get onto the podium. And Briley has to go defensive to right there to prevent him going down the inside for 3rd. Still, as you were, Burrell Smith ahead of Holmes, then Briley, then Wright. There he is in the number 4. 2 minutes 20 to go.
Stephen Downs has got past Bill Taylor now, so it's Stuart Simmons in 5th and Stephen Downs, the next drivers down the order. There's still, if these top 4 really start battling, Andrew, they could come into this towards the end. It all depends on how this goes for the next couple of laps as our top 4 snake their way through turns 3 and through the left-hander of 4. Again, Burrell Smith goes defensive here, but that's going to allow Joe Holmes to get a good late exit and more speed out of these hairpins. It's a repeat of what we saw a couple of laps ago, but so long as Burrell Smith is wise to it and covers it off into 8, and indeed he does.
It was an interesting little gesture there from Anwar. I'm not quite sure who that was to. It looked like get behind me. Oh, Joe stuck one down the inside. Where did that one come from? Side by side. Is he going to let him back through? No, he's going to take the position on the road. I think he surprised Anwar there.
He certainly did. He surprised us as well. He just managed to... He got such a late... He took a very late apex in turn 8, Andrew, and unusually that allowed him 9. But what was weird there was he sort of said, you can have it back if you want, and Burrell Smith went, nah, that's fair. That was a fair pass. This is how I interpreted it, at least. So, fascinating stuff here, as this is surely the penultimate lap of this one. Moves further down the order. Lenny Wood has just got past Nick Trafford. And I'm just seeing that might, with some of the penalties being applied, actually... No, it's not a class... Oh, as Adam Wright's right on the limit of adhesion there, breaking into the hairpin at turn number 6. And that's put him off the back a little bit, Andrew. But again, if these 3 ahead of him start battling, none of that will matter come the end of the last lap. This is all going to be fascinating as we're coming round here to start our final lap of the heavyweight run. We've got to do all of this again for the lightweights, mate. But this is fantastic stuff as our top 4 come through to begin the last lap of the heavyweights for round number 5 here at Bayford Meadows. Joe Holmes leads, and he just set the fastest lap of the race at 54.291 to try and head off the challenge from Burrell Smith.
Can Joe Holmes close out what would be his 3rd A final victory of the season? Won at Buckmore Park. Well, in fact, it would be his first win away from Buckmore Park this season. Obviously, he wasn't at Clay Pigeon, and Anwar took the win at Shennington. But he's keeping it calm. This is classic Joe Holmes. just able to keep the corner speed so high, doesn't even have to defend as they go through the long looping left-hander, and surely he's got it under control now. This has been a tenacious race, one of the closest A finals I can remember in this class. It's not been a completely dominant display from Joe Holmes today. He's had to work really, really hard. But there's the number one in P1. He takes round 5 of the 2020 Club 100 Heavyweight Sprint Championship. That, Howard, was a champion's performance. He had to dig really, really deep into his locker there, but he's got the 130 points.
Absolutely, mate. I am very, very impressed by how the top 4 raced in that one. The focus, rightly so, was kept on it because it was such a good battle. Fascinating to see the little bits of the little dogfights. You can just sort of see, Holmes is getting a later exit there. That's going to give him an opportunity here. Loving the way that you can see the dogfights, as there's a bit of frustration there for
I think that was
Lee Henderson, wasn't it?